Some treasures are too immense to remain hidden forever. In 2015, experts uncovered the wreck of the Spanish galleon San Jose, a ship laden with billions of dollars worth of gold, silver, and precious jewels. Yet this discovery was only the beginning of a much larger story. The struggle over the ship's immense fortune has been as fierce and dramatic as the events that sent it to the ocean floor, and the battle for ownership continues. Today, we delve into the tale of the San Jose, one of the most valuable shipwrecks on record. The ocean hides countless secrets, often just out of reach. Experts turn to the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, WHOI, a U.S. nonprofit famed for finding Air France Flight 447 debris and helping locate the Titanic. In 2015, WHOI was tasked with finding the legendary San Jose, sunk off Colombia in 1708 and said to carry $17 billion in treasure. Mike Purcell, a scientist on the San Jose search team, scanned Colombia's seafloor weekly using autonomous underwater drones he helped develop at WHOI. The mission was challenging. Wrecks littered the coast. But one day, the sonar picked up something remarkable. Sending the drone for images, Purcell and his team crowded around the screen, astonished to see a massive ship lying on the ocean floor before them. Teacups lay scattered across the seafloor, followed by cannons, the anchor, and most astonishingly, a massive pile of gold coins. The team was overwhelmed by the discovery and immediately informed Colombia's president. The government soon announced a full salvage expedition, but as of 2025, no progress has been made in recovering the treasure. The treasure is coveted, yet its true ownership remains unresolved. The Spanish galleon San Jose was launched in 1698 as part of the Spanish treasure fleet. Advanced for its era, it weighed over 1,000 tons and featured iron-reinforced wood. With 3 masts and 64 brass cannons engraved with dolphins, it served as the fleet's flagship. Sailing alongside 3 warships and 14 merchant vessels, the San Jose traversed the vast Spanish Empire from Seville to Antwerp, Africa to the Philippines, and Japan to South America, helping establish the first permanent Pacific trade route, carrying spices, textiles, gold, and other colonial treasures. The Spanish treasure fleet was vital to the rise of the modern economy, establishing the cross-Pacific trade networks that remain important today. Its significance went beyond commerce, as it became a prime target during the War of Spanish Succession, which began in 1701 after Charles II, the last Spanish Habsburg, died without heirs, creating a European power vacuum. Philip of Anjou, a French prince nominated by Charles and supported by Louis XIV, faced Archduke Charles of Austria, backed by Britain and the Holy Roman Empire. Philip's accession threatened to give France dominance, especially through access to Pacific trade, especially over Pacific trade, making the treasure fleet a strategic prize. In 1708, a British squadron attacked it near Cartagena, Colombia, seeking both ships and treasure. In April, the British squadron, Expedition, Kingston, Portland, and Vulture paused for supplies at the Rosario Islands, just 30 miles from Cartagena, under the command of Admiral Sir Charles Wager. The Spanish at Cartagena quickly spotted them and warned the treasure fleet. Despite the alerts, Fleet Commander Jose Fernandez de Santillán set sail on May 28th. Aware he might encounter Wager's forces, he pressed on, as hurricane season was approaching and ships in Havana could not wait. This fateful decision would end in disaster. On June 7th, the fleet anchored at Isla de Barú. The following day, Wager's British squadron appeared on the horizon. Though outnumbered 4-1, most Spanish ships were merchant vessels, ill-suited for battle. The British, however, were built for war, their 4 ships carrying over 200 heavy cannons, compared to the Spanish fleet's 172. The treasure fleet took defensive positions, but the British ignored the smaller ships, targeting the galleons, the vessels carrying the greatest wealth. The San Joaquin was the first to be attacked at 5 p.m., but aided by a smaller escort, escaped safely to Cartagena. An hour later, the British ship Expedition approached San Jose ready to board. When they were just 200 feet, 60 meters apart, the San Jose exploded, likely from a British cannon hitting its powder. Carrying the fleet's richest treasure, the ship sank with nearly all 600 crew members. The rest were lost to the sea. The battle continued, and the British seized the final galleon, the Santa Cruz, but it proved a poor prize, holding only 13 chests of privately owned silver. By dawn, they caught up with fleeing Spanish ships. Most reached Cartagena safely, but the Concepcion ran aground on Baru Island and was set ablaze by its crew. Known as Wager's Action, the battle ended in a decisive British victory. 14 British casualties versus over 1,000 Spanish, but the San Jose and its treasure remained forever out of reach. In Colombia, the San Jose became a lasting legend, even appearing in Gabriel Garcia Marquez's Love in the Time of Cholera. Its treasure has fascinated generations. Based on the San Joaquin's cargo, historians estimate the San Jose carried 11 million pesos in gold coins, often estimated at around $17 billion in today's dollars. Over time, the legend of San Jose grew. In 1980, a private group, Sea Search Armada, SSA, received permission from Colombia to search the continental shelf. After raising millions from investors and scanning the seafloor near the ship's reported location, SSA claimed to have found it. They proposed a 35-65 split of the treasure, but Colombia refused, arguing the wreck wasn't San Jose and that any treasure in its waters belonged to the state. The dispute continued until 1984, when Colombia passed a law granting the state rights to any treasure found in its waters. SSA had to accept new terms: a 5% finder's fee, taxed at 45%. The payout was far below what they hoped for if the wreck truly was San Jose. SSA challenged the law in court, and in 1994, the law was ruled unconstitutional. In 2007, the Colombian Supreme Court mandated a 50-50 split with the government. SSA attempted lawsuits in U.S. courts in 2011 and 2015, but both were dismissed. In 2015, the WHOI expedition captured the first grainy images of San Jose's vast gold hoard. President Juan Manuel Santos, in office at the time, described the discovery as remarkable, admitting he'd never believed the legend despite constant requests from treasure hunters. In November 2015, a late-night call from a cabinet minister changed everything. President Santos was thrilled when he saw the photos, especially since Woods Hole had collaborated with Colombia, reducing legal disputes and confirming the discovery belonged to the nation. This is supported by the law of fines, which allows discoverers to claim a shipwreck's cargo if the vessel is truly abandoned. However, the San Jose wasn't abandoned. It sank with all but 11 crew members aboard, making it a war grave. Flying the Spanish flag, it falls under sovereign immunity, a principle protecting state-owned ships from foreign claims, meaning a naval vessel remains under its nation's jurisdiction, wherever it sinks. After San Jose's discovery, Spain stated that the ship, as a mass grave of Spanish citizens, cannot be subject to commercial exploitation, emphasizing its cultural and historical significance. Taking only the gold would disrespect those who perished. Spain has used this argument before. In 2007, Odyssey Marine Exploration found the Nuestra Señora de las Mercedes off Florida, recovering over 500,000 gold and silver coins worth around $500 million. Initially, the explorers planned to keep the treasure, but Spain intervened. A 5-year legal battle followed, which Spain won based on sovereign immunity, ultimately forcing Odyssey to return the recovered riches in 2012. At first, allowing Spain to claim the wreck seems obvious, but to determine true ownership, we must consider the people from whom Spain originally took the treasure. Tata Samuel Flores Cruz, representing Bolivia's Cara Cara nation, realized in the 1990s, after watching a Titanic documentary, that his people were directly connected to the San Jose treasure. Potosi, one of the world's largest silver sources, historically supplied gold and silver for San Jose. Mined by Tata Samuel's ancestors, he argues that the treasure should compensate the indigenous people who suffered and died without benefit. Tata Samuel supports his claim with evidence. The Cara Cara meticulously records historical data, including exactly how much gold and silver the Spanish extracted from Potosi. This isn't limited to the San Jose. As Mike Purcell noted, the Atlantic is scattered with Spanish wrecks, many carrying gold mined by indigenous laborers. Over time, other indigenous groups from Colombia and Bolivia have joined Tata Samuel's cause. If the case reaches court, it could establish a powerful precedent for indigenous rights throughout South America. Tata Samuel has discussed his proposal with Colombian officials, who seem receptive. He dismisses Spain's claims, suggesting they take only the ship's cannons and remaining wood. The Colombian government claims the treasure, Spain insists it's theirs, and the Cara Cara demand it too. By 2022, Sea Search Armada filed another lawsuit. Almost immediately after the San Jose was discovered, its coordinates were classified as a tightly guarded state secret, a precaution to prevent anyone from stealing the treasure amid ongoing disputes. However, this secrecy is central to Sea Search Armada's new lawsuit. They took the case to the Permanent Court of Arbitration, which handles international disputes, arguing that Colombia violated the U.S.-Colombia Free Trade Agreement. SSA's lawyers claim the 2015 discovery matches the site their team located in 1981 and allege that Colombia has misled the public, even amending salvage laws, to avoid paying SSA their claimed 50% share of the treasure. Colombia insists it wasn't the same ship, noting that SSA's 1980s search zone spanned miles and contained many wrecks. Even if something was found nearby, it likely wasn't San Jose. SSA's lawyers counter that ocean currents scattered debris, complicating identification. In 1981, San Jose wasn't in its eventual explosion site, and over the past 40 years, its remains have likely shifted further. As of 2025, the legal battle over San Jose and its treasure remains unresolved, with no clear answer on ownership. Poignantly, the ship, destroyed in a war over Spain's trade routes, has sparked a centuries-long dispute over its riches. The shifting map of the world highlights this complexity. What is now Colombia was Spain in the 1700s and Caracara land before that, making the question of rightful ownership both a legal and moral minefield. No billionaire has bought San Jose due to legal restrictions. SSA holds an injunction, and the wreck is patrolled by the Colombian Navy. Unlike treasures guarded by storms or sharks, this one faces endless legal red tape. The San Jose created a lasting legend, continuing to captivate imaginations worldwide.